Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Wake me up when September ends. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. We also have the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. Let's go ahead and jump in. So, Bitcoin is still trying to hold the bull market support band. And look, we can copy all sorts of patterns from prior moves and line them up and whatnot. I've done that in prior videos. And, you know, we could follow it. We could follow what we've done in the past, right? We've looked at a number of these patterns. We looked at, the distribution pattern from back in May that could send us down to 37, 38K. We've looked at other ones like the March 2020 capitulation that could send us down further. But, the truth is, at the end of the day, every test is different, and we cannot say for certain that we will not hold it. So it certainly is possible that Bitcoin is able to hold the bull market support band as support. Okay, it is possible. We need a few more weeks to see if it's actually going to happen. All right. I mean, right now it's trading. The 20-week SMA is now at 40.7K. The 21-week EMA is at 43.4K. So the whole idea is as long as we have weekly closes above these levels, then technically things can remain bullish, right? If we end up falling below, then the whole speculation would be we need another 3 months. Okay, I said back in May we need at least 3 to 6 months. We've already had 3 months. If we go below it again, I would say we just need 3 more months to get back on track. But let's see if we can hold it. Now, I've mentioned September before. Okay, and the reason is because it doesn't tend to do well. Bitcoin doesn't tend to do well in September. You can see that actually the last 4 Septembers have all been red. And this was something we noted back in August, that we were coming up on September after having a very bullish August. And we know that historically speaking, September isn't that great for Bitcoin. It's not that great. I think it's actually the worst month for Bitcoin, historically speaking. And now there is some recency bias to that, because you can look to say prior years and note that we were green. But even then, the largest gains by Bitcoin have never really been in September. The largest one was 22%, all the way back in 2012. Beyond that, all the green months were just barely green. And then the red months were pretty bad. They're upwards of negative 19%, negative 13, 14%, negative 7, negative 8, negative 6%, negative 37%. This is just September historically has not been great, right? And that's why we say, wake me up when September ends. Let's see what October will bring. Now we have about another week and a half or so of September. So we have a little bit of ways to go here, and I really don't know what's going to come between now and then, but I would say that the next, 2 to 3 weeks are going to define what happens for the rest of the year. That's what I would say. If Bitcoin holds the bull market support band as support, then, we'll probably have clear skies ahead, okay? And that doesn't mean that the test, assuming we hold it, it doesn't mean the test has to end in September. It could last into October as well. But the whole point is, if we do hold it as support, it's probably going to take a number of weeks, and it's grueling. I can tell you this: no successful test of the 20-week ever felt good, right? It never felt good. That doesn't mean that every time we test it, we'll hold it as support. We know if history is any indication, that's just simply not true. There will be times where we fail to hold it, and we'll go back down. But I also can say that no successful test of the 20-week ever felt good. Right? It never has. It always feels like you're gonna not hold it. Even when it does end up holding it, it feels like you're not gonna hold it. If we go look, where right now we've had a little bit of relief here in the short term. If you go look at, say, 4-hour candles and go scroll all the way out, and let's just pull up the 4-hour RSI here, you can note that the last time we hit levels this low was back in September of 2020. What happened in September of 2020? Wow. Believe it or not, it was also the dump to the 20-week. right? It was the dump to the 20 week that took us to the same level on the 4-hour RSI. So, we still have a ways to go. I think, like, I know everyone wants this to just be a quick test and say we're done. But the truth is that a successful test of the 20 week at this stage would need to happen on a multi-week time frame. If we assume that we only get one wick or two, a couple of wicks, and that's enough, probably not really that great. We really would like to have several weeks in a row where we're continuing to put in weekly closes above the bull market support band. This is exactly what we did last September, right? It's exactly what happened last September. We went down below it a few times, but ultimately we came back up above it to hold it as support. Remember, if we don't hold it, we can have a nasty capitulation, which would represent an opportunity like we had in December of 2018 and like we had in March of 2020. Okay, those opportunities don't always come. If it happens, it's a crazy opportunity. If it doesn't happen, then buying at the 20-week moving average is about as good as you're ever going to get if this ends up being the next leg to the bull market. Okay, I mean, again, buying at the 20-week tends to be as good as it gets if it holds as support. Now, one of the things we spoke about is the golden cross, right? And some people have said, well, we had a golden cross and prices dropped. But this is what we said is the more likely path, right? I mean, a lot of times historically when you get a golden cross, the price dumps shortly after a golden cross. I mean, look, it's a golden cross and now we've dumped. But we said this is actually normal. I mean, go look at prior golden crosses and we typically see that, okay? Here's a dump after a golden cross. Here's a dump after a golden cross. So it's pretty standard stuff, right? A dump after a golden cross. It's not to say that every golden cross is immediately going to lead to a major blow-off top, right? It's not to say that. It's just to say that it's a necessary but not sufficient condition, and even if it is indicative of good times to come in the market, it still typically leads to a short-term pullback. That's just what has happened before, okay? So remember, looking at say like the shorter term time frames and whatnot, which I don't really show the 4-hour on this channel that often, but I would say that when you're looking at these 4-hour time frames and looking at the relative strength index, we really haven't been this low since last September on the 4-hour. So hopefully we can get some relief, and if we're really lucky, maybe we can get a green day. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye.